Have you ever found yourself suddenly wide awake at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling, completely alert, despite desperately wanting to sleep? If you re over 60, you re not alone. Martha, a 72-year-old retired teacher, had slept soundly her entire life until she hit her mid-60s. Suddenly, her nights became fragmented with unexplained awakenings, always around the same early morning hours. She tried everything, avoiding caffeine, creating the perfect sleep environment, even sleep medications, but nothing seemed to help. What Martha didn't need to realize was that her body was experiencing a fundamental shift in how it regulates sleep. And at the heart of this change was a hormone called cortisol. This stress hormone doesn't just respond to anxiety. It actually follows a natural rhythm throughout our day. And as we age, this rhythm can become disrupted in ways that sabotage our sleep. In this video, we are going to explore why so many adults over 60 experience those frustrating middle-of-the-night awakenings, and what is really happening in your body when cortisol levels shift. You will discover 5 key factors that might be triggering your early morning wakefulness and, more importantly, practical strategies to help you reclaim those precious hours of sleep. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why your sleep patterns have changed and have a clear action plan to help you fall back asleep faster and enjoy more restorative rest. This isn't just about feeling less tired. Quality sleep after 60 is directly linked to better brain health, stronger immunity, and even longevity. If you're tired of being tired and ready to understand what's really happening during those 3 a.m. wake-ups, stay with me. The solutions might be simpler than you think. Don't miss the final insight. It's one that most people overlook, yet it holds incredible power in predicting what lies ahead. These markers could completely reshape how you see your future and add valuable years to your life. If this has sparked your interest, show your support by hitting the like button, subscribing to our channel, and sharing this video with those you care about. Together, let's make informed choices for a healthier, longer life. Now let's dive into the 5 key factors behind those middle-of-the-night awakenings and what you can do about them. Factor 1. Age-related cortisol rhythm changes. The most significant reason you might find yourself wide awake at 3 a.m. is a fundamental shift in how your body produces cortisol as you age. Cortisol isn't just a stress hormone, it is actually your body's natural alarm clock. In younger adults, cortisol typically rises sharply around 7 to 8 a.m., helping you wake up feeling refreshed and alert. It then gradually decreases throughout the day, reaching its lowest point around midnight, allowing for deep, uninterrupted sleep. But after 60, this rhythm often shifts dramatically. Your body may start producing cortisol earlier, sometimes as early as 2 or 3 a.m., jolting you awake hours before you'd like to start your day. It is as though your internal alarm clock is malfunctioning, going off at the wrong time and leaving you stranded in the middle of the night, fully alert when you should be sleeping. Take Thomas, for example. At 68, this former accountant found himself consistently waking up between 2:30 and 3:15 a.m., completely alert and unable to fall back asleep for hours. Medical tests revealed his cortisol was surging far earlier than it should, effectively telling his body it was morning when it was still the middle of the night. This age-related shift happens because the suprachiasmatic nucleus, your brain's master clock, becomes less efficient with age. The result is a cortisol rhythm that's no longer optimally timed with your desired sleep schedule. Here's what you can do about it. First, try exposure to bright light in the evening. Studies show that 30 minutes of bright light exposure between 7 to 9 p.m. can help delay your cortisol rise, pushing it later into the morning. This doesn't mean staring at your phone or computer screen. In fact, that blue light can make the problem worse. Instead, use a bright lamp with warm light while reading or enjoying a hobby. Second, consider a small, protein-rich snack before bed. Something like a handful of nuts or a small piece of cheese can help stabilize blood sugar levels, which in turn helps moderate early morning cortisol spikes. Third, talk to your doctor about getting your cortisol levels tested at different times of day. This can confirm whether an early cortisol rise is at the root of your sleep issues and might lead to more targeted treatments. Sometimes specific herbs like ashwagandha or phosphatidylserine can help normalize cortisol patterns when taken at strategic times. Remember, this isn't T, just about being awake when you done. T, want to be. It, S, about working with your body. S, changing biology to restore a healthier sleep-wake cycle. Factor 2. Nighttime blood sugar fluctuations. The second major factor behind those 3 a.m. awakenings involves your blood sugar levels. Many adults over 60 experience increased blood sugar instability, even if they don't have diagnosed diabetes. When your blood sugar drops too low during the night, something called nocturnal hypoglycemia, your body releases stress hormones including cortisol and adrenaline to raise glucose levels. This hormonal response is essentially your body's survival mechanism, but it has an unfortunate side effect. It wakes you up. Consider Ellen's experience. At 74, she found herself waking up almost every night around 3 a.m. with a racing heart, slight sweatiness, and an inexplicable feeling of anxiety. Nothing seemed to trigger these episodes until her doctor checked her nighttime blood sugar patterns and discovered significant drops during the early morning hours. These drops were triggering a stress hormone response that was jolting her awake. What is particularly interesting is that you don't need to have diabetes to experience these fluctuations. As we age, our ability to regulate blood sugar naturally becomes less efficient. Additionally, many common medications taken by older adults, including some blood pressure medications and even certain sleep aids, can affect blood sugar stability. Here's what you can do to address this issue. First, consider a small, balanced bedtime snack that combines complex carbohydrates with protein and healthy fat. Something like half a banana with a tablespoon of almond butter or a small handful of walnuts with a few whole grain crackers can help stabilize blood sugar throughout the night. This slow-burning fuel helps prevent those dramatic drops that trigger cortisol release. Second, be mindful of what you eat for dinner. Large meals high in refined carbohydrates can cause blood sugar to spike and then crash during the night. Instead, focus on a moderate-sized dinner with plenty of fiber, healthy fats, and lean protein. Third, talk to your doctor about medications you're retaking and whether they might be affecting your blood sugar stability. Sometimes simply adjusting when you take certain medications can make a significant difference in your sleep quality. If you suspect blood sugar fluctuations might be behind your sleep disruptions, consider working with a healthcare provider to monitor your levels. Some people benefit from using a continuous glucose monitor for a short period to identify patterns. Understanding exactly what is happening in your body during those middle-of-the-night awakenings can lead to more targeted and effective solutions. If you're still watching and finding this information valuable, please comment cortisol below. Your engagement helps others find this important information that could improve their sleep and overall health. Factor 3. Overnight dehydration and electrolyte imbalance. The third factor that might be waking you up at 3 a.m. involves something many people don't connect to sleep problems: dehydration and electrolyte imbalance. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at maintaining proper hydration and electrolyte balance, and this can have a direct impact on cortisol production and sleep quality. Here's what happens. During sleep, we naturally lose moisture through breathing and perspiration. For adults over 60, who already tend to have a lower percentage of body water and potentially reduced thirst sensation, this normal water loss can sometimes lead to mild dehydration by the early morning hours. When your body becomes dehydrated, it perceives this as a stress signal, which triggers, you guessed it, cortisol release, often jolting you awake. Consider Gerald's case. This 78-year-old retired professor was consistently waking up around 2:30 a.m. with a dry mouth and feeling unsettled. He wasn't drinking much after dinner, fearing nighttime bathroom trips. After working with his doctor, he discovered that his cautious approach to evening fluids was actually contributing to his sleep problems through mild overnight dehydration. By adjusting not just when but what he drank, he was able to significantly improve his sleep continuity. Electrolyte balance is equally important. Electrolytes like magnesium, potassium, and sodium play crucial roles in muscle relaxation, nervous system function, and maintaining proper heart rhythm, all essential components of restful sleep. Many older adults have subtle electrolyte imbalances that can disrupt sleep without causing obvious daytime symptoms. Here's what you can do about it. First, consider your hydration strategy. Rather than avoiding fluids entirely before bed, which can lead to dehydration, or drinking large amounts right before sleep, which can cause urgent bathroom trips, try spacing out moderate amounts of fluid in the hours before bedtime. For many people, having their last significant drink about 90 minutes before bed works well, followed by just small sips if needed. Second, pay attention to what you are drinking. Plain water is good, but beverages that contain small amounts of natural electrolytes can be even better for overnight hydration. A small glass of coconut water in the evening or a homemade electrolyte drink, water with a pinch of sea salt and a squeeze of lemon, can help maintain better balance throughout the night. Third, talk to your doctor about magnesium. Magnesium deficiency is common in older adults and can contribute to both sleep disruptions and increased cortisol production. Some studies suggest that magnesium supplementation before bed can improve sleep quality and reduce nighttime awakening. But it is important to use the right form and dosage for your specific needs. Remember, the goal isn't to overhydrate, which creates its own problems with frequent urination, but rather to maintain optimal hydration balance that supports your body and its natural processes throughout the night. Factor 4. Overnight inflammation and pain signals. The fourth factor behind those frustrating 3 a.m. awakenings involves inflammation and pain, often subtle enough that you might not recognize it as pain during the day, but significant enough to disrupt your sleep. As we age, our bodies tend to produce more inflammatory compounds, and these can peak during the early morning hours, coinciding with those nighttime awakenings. This connection between inflammation and sleep disruption works in both directions. Poor sleep increases inflammation, and increased inflammation disrupts sleep. It is a vicious cycle that can be difficult to break, especially for adults over 60 who may already have some degree of chronic inflammation related to conditions like arthritis, hidden dental issues, or digestive inflammation. Consider Margaret Egg's experience. At 71, she would consistently wake up around 3:30 a.m. with no obvious reason. She didn't feel pain, exactly, but couldn't get comfortable enough to fall back asleep. After working with a healthcare provider who specialized in inflammatory conditions, she discovered that she had significant inflammation in her joints that wasn't obvious during the day, but became problematic during sleep when there were fewer distractions. The inflammatory compounds her body was producing overnight were triggering cortisol release, which was waking her up. The timing is particularly important here. Inflammatory cytokines often increase during the early morning hours, right around when many older adults report waking up. This isn't coincidental. It is part of a complex biological rhythm that affects sleep architecture. Here is what you can do about it. First, consider an anti-inflammatory evening routine. This might include gentle stretching or yoga before bed, which has been shown to reduce inflammatory markers and promote better sleep. Even 5 to 10 minutes of gentle movement focusing on areas that tend to get stiff can make a significant difference. Second, look at your evening diet. Some foods can either promote or reduce inflammation. Try incorporating anti-inflammatory options like tart cherry juice, which naturally contains melatonin and anti-inflammatory compounds, turmeric with black pepper, which contains curcumin, a powerful anti-inflammatory, or fatty fish like salmon, which provides omega-3 fatty acids that help moderate inflammation. Third, consider the timing of any pain medications you might be taking. For many people with arthritis or other inflammatory conditions, the effects of daytime medications wear off during the night. Talk to your doctor about whether adjusting your medication schedule might help cover those early morning hours better. Fourth, assess your sleeping surface and position. As we age, we become more sensitive to pressure points, and an unsupportive mattress or pillow can create subtle inflammation in joints and muscles that builds up during the night. Sometimes, simply adding a mattress topper or trying a different pillow can make a significant difference in sleep quality. Remember, inflammation isn't always obvious as pain. It can manifest as stiffness, discomfort, restlessness, or simply an inability to get comfortable. Addressing these inflammatory patterns can help reduce those middle-of-the-night cortisol spikes that jolt you awake. If you are still watching and finding value in this information, please comment "inflammation" below. I appreciate your engagement, and it helps me know what information resonates most with you. Factor 5. Stress, anxiety, and nighttime thought patterns. The fifth factor behind those 3 a.m. awakenings involves your mental state and thought patterns. Even if you don't feel particularly stressed or anxious during the day, many adults over 60 experience what sleep researchers call midnight worry, a tendency for concerns to surface during those quiet nighttime hours when there are fewer distractions. What is fascinating is how this connects to cortisol. Your thoughts and emotions directly influence cortisol production through the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, HPA axis. When you experience worry or anxiety, even at a subconscious level, your body produces cortisol in response. This creates a biological state of alertness that makes returning to sleep difficult. Take Richard E.'s experience. At 69, this retired engineer would wake up around 3 a.m. with thoughts racing about his adult children, financial planning, or health concerns. Things he managed quite well during daylight hours. But in the darkness of night, these thoughts seemed to take on greater significance, leaving him alert and unable to return to sleep. What Richard didn't realize was that these thought patterns were triggering physiological responses, including cortisol release, that were keeping him awake. For many older adults, this nighttime anxiety connects to very real-life transitions, retirement, health changes, loss of loved ones, or concerns about independence. Even if you're handling these changes well during the day, your subconscious mind may process them during sleep, triggering stress responses that wake you up. Here's what you can do about it. First, create a worry time earlier in the evening. Set aside 15-20 minutes before your bedtime routine to write down concerns, make to-do lists for the next day, or journal about things that might be on your mind. This simple practice helps prevent these thoughts from surfacing later when you're trying to sleep. Second, develop a specific plan for nighttime thought intrusions. Many people find that having a prepared mental response ready helps manage those 3 a.m. thoughts. For example, you might tell yourself, "I've already set aside time to think about this tomorrow. Right now is for rest." Some find it helpful to focus on their breathing or use a calming phrase or prayer to redirect their mind. Third, consider cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI, which has been shown to be particularly effective for older adults. This approach helps you identify and change thought patterns that interfere with sleep. Many healthcare providers now offer this kind of therapy, and there are also digital apps that can guide you through the process. Fourth, create physical relaxation to help calm mental activity. Progressive muscle relaxation, where you systematically tense and release muscle groups, can help lower cortisol levels and create a physical state conducive to sleep. This practice is particularly effective when done in response to nighttime awakening. Remember, the mind-body connection is powerful. By addressing both the thought patterns that trigger cortisol release and the resulting physical tension, you can create better conditions for returning to sleep after those early morning awakenings. Now that we've explored the 5 key factors behind those 3 a.m. awakenings, let us bring everything together into a practical action plan. Remember, sleep is not just about comfort. For adults over 60, quality sleep is fundamental to brain health, immune function, and overall longevity. Every step you take to improve your sleep is an investment in your overall well-being. First, work with your body, changing cortisol rhythm rather than against it. Consider going to bed slightly earlier if you know you're likely to wake up early. This way, even with a middle-of-the-night awakening, you can still get your needed 7 or 8 hours of total sleep. Some adults find that embracing an earlier sleep schedule aligns better with their body's natural cortisol patterns. Second, create a comprehensive evening routine that addresses multiple factors. Enjoy a small, balanced snack about an hour before bed to stabilize blood sugar. Incorporate gentle stretching or relaxation exercises to reduce inflammation. Practice your worry time and write down thoughts that might surface later. Ensure appropriate hydration with the right balance of fluids and electrolytes. Expose yourself to warm, bright light in the early evening to help delay morning cortisol rise. Third, prepare for awakenings so you can handle them more effectively when they do occur. Keep your bedroom cool, around 65 degrees 18 degrees C, and free of electronic distractions. Have a small amount of water by your bed. Decide in advance what you will do if you wake up, perhaps a specific breathing technique or gentle stretching in bed, rather than immediately getting up and disrupting your sleep environment. Fourth, be patient and consistent. Changes to sleep patterns take time, especially when addressing hormonal factors like cortisol. Give any new approach at least 2 weeks before deciding whether it is effective, and try to implement changes one at a time so you can identify what works best for your specific situation. Fifth, consider talking with a healthcare provider who specializes in sleep issues for older adults. Cortisol testing, continuous glucose monitoring, or assessment for specific sleep disorders might provide valuable insights for your personal situation. Sleep medicine has advanced significantly in recent years, with many treatments now available beyond just sleep medications. Remember, the goal isn't yet necessarily to sleep straight through the night without any awakenings. That's actually uncommon for adults over 60. Instead, aim for quality sleep overall, with the ability to return to sleep relatively quickly after any awakenings, and feeling rested and refreshed in the morning. Your body is changing and your approach to sleep needs to evolve too. By understanding the cortisol connection and addressing these 5 key factors, you can work with your body's natural processes rather than fighting against them. If you're still watching this video and finding this information valuable, I would be truly grateful if you'd hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue creating content that addresses the real health concerns facing adults in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. As we wrap up our discussion about those middle-of-the-night awakenings, I want to leave you with some broader perspective on sleep and aging. While it is easy to feel frustrated by sleep changes, understanding them as part of your body's natural evolution can help you approach the situation with more patience and wisdom. First, remember that some sleep pattern changes are a normal part of aging and don't necessarily indicate a problem. Our sleep architecture naturally shifts as we get older, often resulting in lighter sleep and more awakenings. The key question isn't whether you wake up during the night, but rather how you feel during the day. If you are waking up refreshed and have good energy, occasional night awakenings aren't a cause for concern. Second, your sleep needs are unique to you. While research suggests most adults need 7 to 8 hours of sleep regardless of age, the timing and pattern of that sleep might look different for each person. Some adults over 60 thrive with a slightly earlier bedtime and wake time, while others do better with a split sleep schedule that includes a daytime nap. The most important thing is finding what works for your body and lifestyle. Third, quality matters more than quantity. 6 hours of deep restorative sleep will leave you feeling better than 8 hours of fragmented, poor quality sleep. Focus on creating the conditions for high-quality rest, rather than simply trying to extend your time in bed. Finally, view sleep as just one component of your overall well-being practice. Regular physical activity, meaningful social connections, mental stimulation, and a nutrient-rich diet all contribute to better sleep, creating a virtuous cycle that supports your health on multiple levels. The changes you re-experiencing in sleep patterns, including those 3 a.m. awakenings, aren't signs that your body is failing you. Rather, they re-signals that your body is communicating with you, inviting you to make adjustments that honor its changing needs. By responding with understanding and appropriate adaptations, you can continue to enjoy restorative sleep at every age. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of sleep, cortisol, and aging. I hope you'll take away practical strategies that help you reclaim those precious hours of rest and wake up feeling energized for the day ahead. If you found this information helpful, please share it with someone else who might benefit. Quality sleep is too important to keep secret. I'd love to hear about your experiences with sleep changes after 60 and what strategies have worked for you. Please leave a comment below, sharing your insights or any questions you might have. Your contributions help build a community of knowledge that benefits everyone. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming videos on health, wellness, and thriving in the golden years. Until next time, here's to better sleep and brighter days.